For decades, there was this mysterious sound echoing through the North Pacific, a song with no singer anyone could identify, kind of like a phantom voice from the deep. Today, we're going to decode the incredible story of what's known as the 52 Hertz Whale and what its lonely song is really telling us about our planet. So let's dive right in.
Okay, first things first, just listen. This is the actual sound, but we've sped it up 10 times so you can hear it. This is the call that started a global mystery. So that one-of-a-kind sound, it was first picked up just reverberating through the huge, empty expanse of the North Pacific. I mean, it was obviously a whale, but it sounded like no whale anyone had ever heard before. And that, right there, sparked the one question that would absolutely captivate scientists, artists, and, well, pretty much the whole world for years. Who is singing the song? And are they singing it all alone? The story kicks off in a really unexpected place, the Cold War. Yep. Back in 1989, the U.S. Navy had this super-sensitive underwater microphone network set up to listen for enemy subs, and it picked up this weird biological sound. After the Soviet Union collapsed, the Navy declassified the recordings, and by 2004, the scientific community officially had a major mystery on its hands. Now, here's the crucial part. It all comes down to frequency. The call was clocked at 52 hertz. Now, to give you some perspective, other giant whales in that same ocean, we're talking blue whales and fin whales, they sing in this really low, deep rumble, somewhere between 10 and 39 hertz. So 52 hertz, that's a much higher pitch. It's like a tenor singing in a choir full of basses. It just stands out. And that one scientific fact, that anomaly, that was all it took. The story completely escaped the science labs and mushroomed into this powerful, kind of heartbreaking legend that just resonated with millions of people. You know, as the filmmaker Joshua Zeman said, the power wasn't really just in the whale itself, it was in the metaphor it created. This idea of a creature calling out into the darkness, completely unheard and unanswered. Wow, it just struck this deep human chord about loneliness and our own search for connection. This whale became a global sensation. It inspired movies, books, art, you name it. The K-pop superstars BTS even used it as a metaphor for feeling alienated in their song Whalian 52. A Kickstarter to fund an expedition to find the whale even got a huge last-minute donation from Leonardo DiCaprio that saved the whole project. The story was just that compelling. But while the entire world was fallen in love with the story of the loneliest whale, scientists were, doing what they do. They were taking a much closer look at the data. And the reality? Well, as it often does, it turned out to be a little more complicated. Bioacoustics researcher Christopher Clark, one of the original scientists who studied the recordings, kind of pushed back on the whole legend. He argued that this idea that other whales couldn't hear the call was probably just wrong. As he put it, the other whales aren't deaf, this one is just, well, a bit odd. So the consensus that started to form among scientists is that, yeah, the pitch is unusual, for sure, but the call's structure, its patterns, it's actually really similar to a blue whale's song. It's very likely that other whales can hear it just fine. They just might not recognize it as coming from one of their own. And then came another twist. Around 2010, researchers started using more advanced sensors. And guess what? They began detecting other calls at that same 52 hertz frequency. Sometimes at the same time, but in totally different places. All of a sudden, the loneliest whale in the world might not be so alone after all. So this new evidence pretty much dismantled the simple legend, right? But it pointed toward an even more fascinating scientific possibility, the hybrid theory. Okay, so if the whale isn't some lonely singer that no one can hear, what could it be? What explains not just its weird voice, but also its strange migration patterns, which seem to be a mix of two totally different species? The most likely answer? It's a hybrid, specifically something called a flu whale. That's the offspring of a blue whale and a fin whale. Now, these hybrids are super rare, but we're getting way better at spotting them. And the evidence for this is pretty convincing. While Whale 52's call is its own thing, its behavior is a clear mashup. Its migration path, that follows a blue whale's route, but its migration timing, that perfectly matches a fin whale's schedule. In pretty much every way we can observe it, it's a blend of both. And this is where the story takes its final and, honestly, its most important turn.
The existence of this whale isn't just some biological curiosity. It might actually be a warning sign, a single voice signaling a massive shift that's happening in our oceans. So here's the connection. As climate change warms up the oceans, it's forcing different whale species into the same areas. Blue and fin whale habitats, which used to be more separate, are now starting to overlap, especially during mating season. And what happens then? You get more encounters, and you get more hybrids. The heart of the issue is really just a numbers game. There are roughly 4 times as many fin whales out there as blue whales. This means a female blue whale looking for a partner is just statistically more likely to bump into a male fin whale, which cranks up the chances of hybridization. So why is this a big deal? Because most of these male hybrids, these flu whales, they're sterile. They can't reproduce. Each one of these hybrids represents a lost chance for the critically endangered blue whale population to actually grow. These amazing, unique animals are, sadly, an evolutionary dead end. So, when you look at the whole picture, the metaphor shifted. The 52 Hertz whale is no longer just a symbol of our own personal loneliness. Its song has become a symptom of a much bigger, planetary crisis, a sign that our ecosystems are being thrown out of whack by human-driven change. We were all captivated by the story of this one whale's song, right? It reached millions of us, made us feel a real connection to an animal we've never even seen. The question we have to ask now is, are we actually listening to the deeper message in that call? Are we hearing what it's really telling us about the health of our oceans and our entire planet?